My husband has been offered a job in a different city. Even though this would mean a major career step for him, I'm a bit worried about my own work. What does research know about these things?
Okay, what we know from the empirical research is that the experiences of migration for single men and single women, they are fairly similar, but differ quite strongly between partner women and partner men who move as a couple. So concerning job motivations, couple migrations generate concerns, benefits for the employment career of men, and female partners generally move and follow the male partner at the expense of their own careers. So as a result, it happens that couple migration results in diminishing wages and decreasing employment rates or occupational status, and increasing share of domestic work for migrant women, while the opposite holds true for migrant men. And even if women recover some of the pre-migration labor status, it doesn't recover fully. So all in all, family migration is contributing to increasing gender inequality within couples. Well, actually, most of what we know about the gender impact on family migration comes from the literature in internal migration. But it may also apply to most of the international migrations, as long as we're talking about long-distance residential relocations. And when couples move over long distance, it happens that they may be not able to use important resources that are embedded in the locations where they have been living for a long time. This is the case of personal networks of emotional or material support that at the same time they are contacts to possible employers. And this, among others, is one of the reasons why it takes some more time for women who follow their partners to recover this pre-migration status. But nowadays, to solve these tensions on the relocations of dual earners, it happens more and more often that one or both of the partners undertake long-distance commutings. So these and other forms of recurrent mobility are becoming important substitutes of couples relocations, but they are far from being unproblematic because of the associated time and monetary costs that have negative consequences for family well-being. Probably a very important factor contributing to the intensification of gender impact is the presence of children in the household. It happens very often that childbirths and migrations of couples happen within the same time interval, like the same year, and this is not casual. So there is already a literature that finds that the gendering of family roles that occurs when couples have children, and that means that men devote more time to paid work and women to childcare and housework. This is a very important process influencing the gender impact of couple migrations. We know very little about the influence of institutions, but definitely they might have an impact on alleviating or intensifying the gender impact. So for instance, we have these persistent gender inequalities in the labor market that explains why nowadays in dual earner couples women's work is still, or women are still considered secondary earners in the households. And there are international or national variation in the levels of gender-based labor market inequality that may moderate this gender impact on family migrations. And also here family policies are important to the extent that they encourage female careers, interruptions, or a continuity of these careers, or at the same time the implication of fathers in childcare. I would say 70% of the European population is not intending to move in the next 5 years from the place where they are living right now. And probably for family households or couple households, this percentage is much higher. And this is already an indication that even if there is this social perception that mobility and migration is good for economic growth, there's still some issues to be solved about what is it called mobility-family balance. So here the policy recommendation is that we need to combat the constraints and the negative consequences for family well-being that derive from mobility and migration.